Good evening, good evening. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty, joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Jason Hall with Team Home Loans. We're talking with Brian Daly with REIG Renovations and Brandy Pike joining us here in the studios, also with Whissel Realty. And Brian, before the break, we talked a lot about the difference between flippers and a true renovation company who's really going in and renovating these homes and not just putting lipstick on the pig, as they say. Where are you guys finding these houses? Because I know as the market's gone up, it's become a little bit harder for investors to find deals right now. A lot of our investors have really just gotten out of the game or literally gone on to other cities or whatnot. So where are you guys finding properties that actually have, you know, some room in them to grow and actually still make some money?
Oh, it's a mix. So we do a lot of relationships with other real estate agents throughout the county, and really when they come across a home that is really beat up, is going to go to a cash investor anyway, and the person just wants to make the process as easy as possible. They'll usually call us before it goes on the market, and we'll come up with a fair price. It's I think a lot of real estate agents right now are sick and tired of going on the market, getting offers bid up way above list price, but then falling out 5 times before they find a price that's actually going to work. So that's actually helped out in our benefit, and that's again one of the reasons why we are so big on relationships, because we don't want to harm that business in any way. The other way was we go direct to homeowner. We mail certain segments of the county, and then we have an online presence that people find us, and again is just a solutions provider. We can get creative in the solutions we offer. You know, we can do subject to, which is when we assume a loan that's currently there, and allows us to pay a lot more. We've done a lot of carryback financing recently, and we've even done some JV deals where the seller, we were kind of talking about it outside the break, but where the seller has a beat up house, they're not really looking to urgently sell it, but they want to get as much value out of it as we can or as they can, and so we'll partner up on it.
And how does something like that normally work out for a homeowner?
So we usually set a base price. Hey, this is what it's worth as is. We will manage the whole process. We will put in the money to fix it up, and then you guys get your base price first. We get our money back out of it second, and then whatever is left over, we'll split with whatever percentage we decide at the time of buying it.
How much fun do your crews have working on occupied houses?
We don't touch occupied houses.
So that's one of the requreiments. They got to move out?
Yeah, we make sure that the house is vacant. We've
it just costs too much money and time, right?
Oh, it's a freaking headache. Yeah. I know our contractors who've traditionally done a lot of flips, they're getting back into doing traditional renovations for homeowners right now, and they're realizing how big of a headache it is having to deal with homeowner schedules, you know. Oh, well, I got to go to work at 9, so you got to be here by this time, you know, whereas normally they could just show up to the job, whether they show up at 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock. It doesn't
6
matter.
Right.
Yeah. But when it's
containment issues, cleanup, and
it just gets more expensive. And the bottom line is, it just costs everybody more money, and it's a lot more headache to manage. And
they'll usually change their mind 4 or 5 times during the job. And again, I understand it, because I've been a homeowner that's done some work on the house, and it's tempting to want to change your mind. But yeah, we played with that model a little bit 2 years ago, and we just decided this wasn't for us. And so we have different portions of our business. We've only been talking about our residential here today, but we have a full-blown construction company with a lot more guys outside of the residential market that is working on apartment buildings and HOAs and operating all the way up to Orange County and LA County. So
we could actually use you as our contractor on some properties that we renovate.
Absolutely.
You're like, yeah, sweet. Scored some more business from the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. So again, we're talking with Brian Daly, REIG Renovations. If you want to learn more about his company, how you could possibly work with him, you've got a house to sell. If you're looking to invest some money, I know these guys are always open to, ideas and working with people here in San Diego. Give them a call or shoot us a text, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. And so let's turn it over a little bit. Brandy, you are the listing manager at Whissel Realty. And so Brian was talking about how there are some homeowners that want to do some renovations to their house before they put them on the market. Are you running into that at all?
Absolutely, definitely. I would say that half of our appointments that I go on right now are people who are actually coming to us and saying, hey, what can I do to get the most value out of my house? Not that they're necessarily looking to sell right away, but in the long term. So we, people like you, Brian, we would love to have you guys come in. Obviously, you guys don't do properties that are occupied, but having someone that's a professional and being able to say, okay, you spend $1 here, it's going to get you $2 in the long run is what sellers are really looking for. And, they kind of are thinking about selling, but they might stay there, but they're wanting the long-term value out of it.
So what are some of the improvements that you guys are, helping these owners make to get max value out of their house?
Kitchen. The kitchen seems to be a big thing. Another thing that we're running into is everybody wants that open floor plan, that concept. And kind of like how you were saying, the functionality of it is really something that's important to a lot of families. So making sure that when you go into a house that you are kind of wowed at first, but that you can see anybody living there.
Okay, I love it. And then, so one of the things that I've noticed is with this whole open floor plan concept right now, I mean, it's to the point where people literally want a couple bedrooms and the rest of the house completely open. You can almost run into some issues with that because if you don't stage the home, people have no idea what the hell to do with all that space. Like Jason, your house, you guys have this room that's like probably 60 feet long by like 20 feet. I mean, you guys have this
that's about it.
monstrous
it's like
room.
1,200 square foot open room.
It?
It's kind of segmented. So part of it's the dining room on one end, and part of it's the family room kind of with the TV. And then part of it's a living room. That's the way the wife has it set up right now. I'm sure that's going to change in years to come. She wants to live there forever.
A woman changed her mind?
I know.
No.
So that's what kind of what it is. But the first time you walked in there, Kyle, you were like, when it was under construction, you were like, what are you going to do with this thing? This thing's huge.
Was that an addition?
Yeah, it wasn't an addition. We literally kind of did what you did.
They shelled the house. They did more than just gut it. They shelled it to the point you had 4 walls left. And those were the 4 walls holding the house up.
Where is it?
In Mount Helix. So it had a view, and so that was something that my wife really enjoyed. And our architect looked at it, and the house was built in the 50s and just wasn't designed to take advantage of the view. So you had to go outside the house to see a view.
Yeah.
It's like, why would they build the house that way? But it was just done different in the 50s. And now people really appreciate a view and seeing, we can see ocean water from our master bedroom in the morning. So, the house was totally redesigned. So the kitchen was moved, the master bedroom was moved, all the bathrooms were moved. The only thing remaining is, as Kyle said, was the 4, outside walls and a few supporting walls inside. But it's kind of worked out. It works for us. I mean, it's definitely different, but it is, as Kyle said, that's kind of what more people are looking to is this big open floor plan, right, Brittany?
Yeah, and they're trying to basically get professionals to come in and to give that opinion of what most people are going to want out there. So what may work for you, having that 60 by 20 living room, may not work for everybody else. So we will also bring in our stager and a designer along with a contractor who will basically say this is the best use of this floor plan. So we have a lot of sellers. I would say, Kyle, you and I go on how many appointments a week? And I would say half of them right now are saying, what can we do to our property? And we're almost managing it in a sense.
Absolutely. I mean, we're seeing that everybody wants to get the most money out of their house. I mean, we're fortunate enough that we have a lot of homeowners come to us that actually have a budget set aside to make improvements to the home. I know that there's a lot of people that probably the more the ones you run into, Brian, they want to sell, but they don't have the money to make the improvements. That's where they need to partner with somebody like you who can actually essentially front the money for that renovation and then JV with them on the rehab. We're running into people, luckily, that actually have some money. So it's been really cool to come in and help them maximize the value that they can get out of that home. So like Brandy said, doing some things like redoing the kitchen, but again, spending as little money as possible, opening up floor plan, bringing in, high quality staging, all of that stuff. So
something as small as even doing the popcorn ceiling, scraping that off, even though it's so time consuming, it is so worth it. Nobody wants to see that anymore.
Absolutely. So we're going to head to a break here on Whissel Wednesdays. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more with Brandy Pike at Whissel Realty, learn more about what you can do to get top dollar for your home in this market. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on KCBQ 1170.